This is Rob Tebbutt from Behind the Gloves. I'm here with the Dark Lord of British boxing, Adam Booth, at York Court, the Next Gen show. How are you doing, Adam?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Now, we've just seen two of your fighters in action this evening. First of all, we saw Charlie Edwards blow off the cobwebs a little bit in his own words. First time he's been out since he and Butcher. What do you make of his performance?
Nice. It was like a paid sparring session. Practice some things that we're working on in the gym, so we can see what's falling in and what other things we need to keep improving. So all in all, it was a great late rounder.
Do you want to elaborate on the things that you feel that he needs to improve on? No? Okay, no problem. When I spoke to Charlie earlier, he told me about how frustrating a week he'd had with the late pull-out last night.
Ridiculous. It's just one of those freakish. I've never had it that bad before.
I mean, you've seen quite a fair bit in boxing as well. Yeah, okay, so I mean, what sort of thing will that help him with going forward? Well, I mean, we spoke about it, he was quite down when I spoke to him. I've spoken to Charlie a fair few times before and he's always got a smile on his face and he seemed fairly frustrated. I mean, what do you think he'll learn from that from a psychological point of view, a preparation point of view going forward?
I think he was just a bit disappointed that he didn't have like a world ranked opponent, because he was ready for a world ranked opponent. And if I get a call now for anyone in like the top 15 to get him in a world ranking fight, I'll take it because he's ready.
Is that the plan for him next? Is that where you're looking to push him next? Or is it
campaign at super flyweight and getting towards a world title as soon as possible? Okay,
and obviously Harlem Eubank has just fought his second professional fight. Looked very sharp. What did you make of his performance?
Really happy with him. Had a lot going on, first fight on TV, and I know that he had a lot in his head. He wanted to put on a show. He puts a lot on himself because he's got that name against a big competitive kid as well. And I'm really pleased with him. I was pleased with his patience. I was pleased with how he corrected some little mistakes he made with his shot selection, tidied it up, and all in all, 3 very good rounds out of 4.
What's the plan for him? Are you looking to get him out before Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, he's having a lot of competitive sparring in the gym with people like Josh Kelly and Johnny Garton and guys like that. So he's learning a lot in the gym. Keep that type of learning and also get him active and regular. Have a chat with Eddie and see what the feedback is.
Next week we've got Ryan Burnett's unification bout against
Zhakiyanov.
Zhakiyanov, thank you very much, Adam. Zhakiyanov. How do you see that fight going? I'm sure you're going to back your man, but I mean, how's Ryan looked in the gym?
When I'm in a fight, I don't look at it abstractly. I look at it as it is and look at the detail. So Ryan's ready. He's ready for this fight. He's ready for this challenge. I'm excited. It's on paper, it's a genuine 50-50 fight. It's one of those fights where if he does what he should do, he could make it one-sided. We know that Zhakiyanov's going to bring a lot of pressure and a lot of intensity. Ryan's ready for that, and I'm excited.
What can you tell us about him? And obviously you alluded to his pressure there, but what can you tell our viewers who may not be as familiar with Zhakiyanov?
He's relentless and heavy-handed, and he's a world champion. He's relentless and heavy-handed, and he won't look to box with Ryan. He'll look to try and drag him into a war, and he'll try and beat Ryan up. But I think he's going to be surprised at what he gets met with.
What's Ryan been like since getting over that hump and winning the first world title? I mean, I know that can be psychologically a massive thing for fighters. It can sometimes be not a negative, but sometimes people can lose that hunger. I mean, how has it been for you seeing him
exactly
in the
gym? The same, no different. Even in this training camp, there's been a steady progression in everything he's done. You wouldn't know that he just won the world title. It's just exactly the same old Ryan with the impeccable attitude and professionalism. And I know it sounds maybe a bit cheesy to give the perfect answer, but in him you have the perfect professional.
Okay, and just finally, Adam, tomorrow sees your old charge, George Groves, face Jamie Cox in the World Boxing Super Series. What do you make of that fight? I mean, how do you see that fight panning out?
I don't think it's as one-sided as people say, as people think it is. It's certainly the first 6 rounds are going to be very tense and very dangerous for both of them. If it goes into the second half of the fight, I think Groves' experience and natural size and strength will show out. But in the first half of the fight, I think they can both hurt each other. But Groves is the naturally bigger man who can deal with southpaws quite well. But Jamie Cox he could be one of these guys that just gives no respect to anyone, and the higher the level he fights at, the better he is. It could be that type of fight, and it's going to be intriguing to watch.
Okay, well, Adam Booth, thank you very much for speaking to Behind the Gloves.
Pleasure.
Finally over the hump, I finally interviewed you. Thanks very much. Hopefully it won't be the last time.
Hey, my fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking right here.